All right, I'm joined by O'Shea Jackson Jr. Very excited. I just asked before we officially started recording, but the mood being dependent on the Lakers seemed like though you also got football this weekend too. So there's some.
Oh yeah, that Tom Brady. Let me tell you, I'm ready to go. My Rams are looking pretty solid. We got a nice strong victory against the Cardinals. My Rams and my Kings, we're doing our thing, but I need my Lakers to step it up.
There's got to be a little. We're doing a couple live events out there, so we'll be out there during the Super Bowl week. There's got to be a little juice behind it, though, knowing that the Super Bowl is in the home stadium, is in LA. It's gotta up the nerves a bit, right?
Definitely. After Tampa won it in Tampa, everybody's kind of, you want that feeling. And we've had the Dodgers, we've had the Lakers win titles in the last 2 years, and a Super Bowl for LA. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. We haven't had a team in so long. To win the Super Bowl, it would be an amazing feeling.
Well, a big you're welcome if OBJ gets you there, because I'm a Browns fan. So we'll just move on from that. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about football anymore. We're just cutting it off there. We're cutting it off there. Let's talk off the top about the Now Roku original. Very funny. So some people may recognize this title. Came over from when Quibi moved on. It's on Roku. I want to say 14 or 15. I had the number 14 or 15 episodes. About 8 to 10 minutes each. I'll read you the synopsis. Ed Poole's life isn't going as he planned. However, tragic event causes him to rethink his outlook, forcing him to go after what he loves, cherish people closest to him, and live in the now. Fairley brothers involved. That's typically a pretty good sign for anything. Comedic, Dave Franco, Daryl Hannah, Jimmy Tatro, Bill Murray with a fucking ponytail. You play a police officer, which you've noted in interviews. Pretty funny. That's a pretty funny little twist.
Pretty funny.
But also it's like there's a pretty heavy topic at hand. Like our podcast, we talk about all the time, mental health stuff. There's a lot of mental health stuff involved with this, but in like a pretty serious way, but also in a way that has comedy involved. And I think that's a pretty neat thing to be able to tackle that and, give a little laugh, but also with a pretty serious and very relevant topic.
Yeah. Comedy, really film in general. It's a nice way to kind of talk about heavy topics, without it being too overbearing or make people feel that uncomfortable with a very uncomfortable topic like, suicide and mental health in general. And they handle it in such a smart way, being, the Fairley brothers, and just everything about this story is handled in such a funny and unique way, while at the same time having its core message of making sure that you're okay, making sure that the people around you know that you need help. And, we do it in a funny way, but at the same time, we want to pull at the right heartstrings to let people know who are going through that situation that there is a way out. There is a way out through the people around you and through yourself.
You're in with a couple funny guys, two guys who actually are in a franchise. Your dad was in Jump Street with Jimmy Tatro and Dave Franco. And you have a couple, a couple dinner places, like you get to bounce off them. It's got to be a lot of fun. Like we love talking about just dynamics of different actors, especially comedic, to just sit down in a circle and just bounce off a couple different people, especially like your age. Just like that's got to be one of the more like enjoyable parts of any comedy, right?
Yeah, and Jimmy and Dave, I never had a connection with other, actors the way that I have with them. I've made friends along the way. Of course, all my Straight Outta Compton guys. Anytime we run into each other, it's all love. My G team, my soldiers and Godzilla, Elizabeth Ludlow and Anthony Ramos, we still hit each other up. But when we were shooting the Now, Dave made it, a thing for us all to go out to dinner. Let's all go out and just talk about everything that's going on. We went out to dinner every week. And we're still in connection right now. We're talking about how happy we are that the show is finally out there for everyone. But those are my guys. Those are some real good dudes. They're hilarious. A funny story is going to see my father's movies is, you're going to go see your dad at work. And I hadn't seen Jump Street when I met them.
Really?
Yeah. And so like they're part of this like Jump Street frat talking about it. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I hear it's good. I finally got to see it though. Don't worry. But yeah, those are my dudes. Great chemistry. We've been talking about trying to figure out a way to get us back together, unless they want to do another season of The Now. But those are my dudes. Those are some real good guys. And you got to be happy to be able to work with someone that you have so much chemistry with, because it makes the best movies.
You've been in those types of movies too. Like you talk about long shot comedies. You talk about Godzilla, like as big of a smash 'em up monster thing as possible. But is it the same for each type of genre, or does it matter more with comedy having that kind of offset connection? Because the movie's success is so dependent on, believing that people are really funny together.
Oh, it for sure matters more in comedy, at least in my opinion. You have to have a certain type of energy with each other. You have to be able to have that banter. You have to be able to, kind of be quick with the conversation, and in an improv situation, be able to flow off of each other and things of that nature. So I definitely would say in a comedic series or film, that chemistry is like, that's a key part of everything. And you want to, at the end of the day, you're going to be kicking it with this person for a month or two. You might as well get along. You might as well find some sort of connection to want to see the other one do great in the scene.
Farrelly brothers, obviously, I mean, comedy legends, also just like Oscar-winning legends as well now. But anyone who's behind the minds of Dumb and Dumber, like, what is their approachability, especially because they were so heavily involved with this, just with comedy in general? Like, were you feeling like I can give some suggestions on a scene here, maybe my own comedic input? Were they open to that along the way?
Oh, for sure. They at certain points, one day it'll be Pete, and then towards the end, Bobby kind of picked it up along the way, and yeah, they're super approachable. They're the type to, they want you to talk to them at the end of the day. If you're sitting in your hotel room, you got something that you're thinking about, your character, and that's what you want. You want that from a director as an actor, somebody who, isn't just sitting in the tent and telling you to go out there and say some words. You want to have that collaborative feel. And, there's Farrelly brothers. You're not going to take advice. I mean, they were just coming off the Oscar when we were filming this.
Right.
So it's, they're legends in the game. They know what they want. They know how to get it out of you. And I'm grateful to be able to have worked with them this early in my career.
Short form, 14 episodes, like I said, all up now, Roku channel for free. You can go watch them right now. Right when this is over, you can go watch them. You'll also notice something. So I'm going to have like a decorum to not ask you spoiler questions about Kenobi, but you can tell behind me, I am a massive Star Wars fan. Like I am. You're talking to you're in the right place, because you're an anime guy. You're a video. My other co-host just took his first vacation, since I met him. So he's not here. He's the anime guy, but we are both big Star Wars fans. You're in Kenobi. I think you got to make a bet with Kathleen Kennedy or someone. Say if the Rams make the Super Bowl, they'll drop the trailer during the Super Bowl. That's got to be right.
I was so little side note. I was so upset. Disney had their little
you remember your tweet?
Yeah, man. I'm like, dude, somebody send me an email or something. I'm over here drooling, and I was in it. It was I was a kid in a candy store. The being on the sets. Having to fake press buttons and just be in the realm. And it was a time of my life. I've never been more excited to get to work. It was a dream come true. I can't wait for everybody to see it. I can't wait to see it. I hope they don't make me wait week by week like everybody else. Can a boy get a hookup? My God.
They're worse than I think Marvel at this point in terms of secrecy. Can you give us at least like a look into the secrecy? What were there some things that even surprised you? You were that you couldn't even see or do yourself?
I will say I learned my lines on the day. I couldn't get the, usually you get the sides at least the night before so you can learn them. But nah, you're not getting that out of them. You'll have enough time if you get to work early. And luckily I'm Star Wars head, so it's easy for me to get into the character I was. But yeah, it's completely under wraps. I'm talking code names. I'm talking just not even able to take nothing home. Just no cell phones type thing. It was it's definitely a fraternity that Star Wars. I'm glad to be a part of it, and I can't wait for everybody to see it. I just want everyone to see it so I could just give some Easter eggs and just talk about it. It's been rough on me.
Obviously, you're not going to say, but is there like one moment, like an oh shit moment that you had in the back of your head that you're just like, you got the tweet already drafted up? You're like, I'm firing this off the second this airs. Is there like one or two in you?
Oh God. Listen, man, Mickey Mouse still has my phone bug, bro. Can't be doing this. I'll tell you one thing. When I met Ewan McGregor and he's in his full, you dig, I was like, there's no way this dude don't have powers. Like, I'm just waiting for him to, you're just like, there he is. Like, that's him. He's super cool though. Real good dude. I was going to Ireland after I was done filming. And, I asked him, because I hear McGregor, I just think Ireland. And he's like, I'm Scottish. I was like, damn. But anyway, so I'm going to Ireland. I'm like, yo, so what should I do out there? Like, what's some food I should eat? I've had sushi in Japan. I've had crocodile in Australia. I've had, so like, what should I do? He said, Guinness. So I made sure I got out to Ireland. I had me some Guinness. I sent him a pic. He was like, that's my boy.
That's awesome. I love that. You had I thought a really cool quote that like, especially for someone like yourself that grows up a Star Wars fan, like to realize this moment, you said every black kid can't just be Lando or Mace Windu. And there's been in the Disney Plus series opened that up too. You got, I was literally watching Mandalorian today. Grief Karga, Carl Weathers, you have Moff Gideon, Finn, like all like these new characters, but that has to be true. Like such a wild childhood thing to realize like, damn, like, people when they were like my age, a kid like in Star Wars can now like at some point dress up as me. That has to be, of all the cool things you've done, that's got to be up there, right?
Yeah, it was a true statement. Back when I was a kid, it was really all I had to look at. Unless you're sitting there thinking Boba Fett is black under there. It's not really. James Earl Jones is technically Darth Vader, but other than that, it was like there's Lando and there's Mace Windu. So, to see the lore branching out and, all these people of color being able to have these dope roles and, myself being included into that is, it's a dream come true. You don't know how impactful it is for a kid to look at something that they love and be able to kind of see themselves a little bit in it. And so, it's a dope thing to be a part of this new wave. I'm happy that Disney and, everybody involved in Star Wars is taking this approach. And I'm thankful that they picked me. That's at the bottom line.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's you got. I feel like I think I read an interview you said too. It's like you showed up and Deborah Chow, who directed some of the best episodes of Mandalorian, doing Obi-Wan. I know you said that she was like, oh wow, you really belong here. Your shit. That's got to be. That should be your advice to anyone trying to get castings. Like do your homework. Know your shit.
Yeah, man. Lord Deb. Every time she would walk on set, I'd call her Lord Deb, and it's just fully engulfed in the Star Wars.
I don't get to do this often. I'm sitting in this room with like the most prequel-y characters. I got Dexter Jetster, the diner owner. So I got to ask you. You got to give me the spiciest Star Wars take you got. Spiciest opinion. Something so bad someone might like shut this off. Like that's how spicy.
Anakin was right. And like I swear, dude, when I really sit back and think about the things that made Anakin turn, I'm like, bro, if I had to watch my mom pretty much die in my arms, I'm in love. I'm trying to, me and my woman got to be in secrecy. I just want to love my baby. And y'all stole me from my mom. Like, it's just so much goes into that, so many real emotions. I'm like, bro, I feel you. I probably wouldn't go in and murder children, but
you just go one level below. Yeah, if you're
like you took it a little far there, but other than that, the heel turn he was right, bro. He had every right to do that. And at the end of the day, he's the chosen one. And if you know, like, Luke didn't beat Vader. All right, Luke didn't beat Vader. Vader kind of sacrificed himself to save Luke. So at the end of the day, Anakin was still in there. So yeah, man, Anakin was right.
They made him race a 3-lap pod racer race just to like get his free. Like, I mean, like, what are we? Yeah, cut him a little slack, you know.
What I love about the pod racing, because episode 1 gets a lot of flack, rightfully so. But what I love about that is, so in the original Star Wars, you know, like in the original trilogy, you know, when Vader's flying his ship, nobody's better than Vader at flying. So if you go back and you watch episode 1 and you realize that pod racing is your first hint at nobody can mess with Vader while he's driving. And then later on, Anakin, when he got the long hair and all that, the baddest flyer there is, the baddest pilot there is. And then they speak on that and it keeps going. And that gets grown through the pod racing. And so that's one thing that I love that episode 1 did, is they show why Obi-Wan called him the best pilot in the galaxy.
We'll save the Star Wars questions from Obi-Wan. We'll have you back on. We'll have you back on when that comes out. We'll save it. Yeah. I got to touch on hating Christians. I don't want to get into it. We'll save it. We'll save it. But another thing that you talk about, reminder, by the way, the now out Roku channel, video game movies. Yeah. We ask this all the time to people who've been in these, and we kind of get the same answer a lot. Like we talked James Marsden, we talk about like Sonic, is like we've had these discussions, but you really, like, in your head have a plan. You have noted many times you want to make and save like video game movies because it's just so few and far between.
Bro, what are you saying to me right now?
Flashing the PlayStation. Like what I know you mentioned Metroid. I know you mentioned Kingdom Hearts, which I actually think Disney is. I mean, now you have the end. I think Disney is doing something like what is the best one to you that exists now? Because there aren't many. There aren't many. And, you know, I think the reason why is because when you play a video game, you're putting in days worth of hours into a character. Okay, you are growing with that character. You go through struggles with that character. And those 17 or however many hours you put into that game, those emotions cannot be compressed in an hour and a half, 2 hours. And also, we can't do video game movies based off games that people have already played, stories I already know. I think the best approach that they've kind of tapped in now, that I've always wanted to do, but they kind of beat me to it, but, you know, we'll see, we already know the world. We already know the world that the game happens in. So give us a story that happens within that world instead of a story that we already know. That's why Sonic the Hedgehog is dope. It's not based off him in the green zone. You know, it's like it's in the world that Sonic exists. This is what's going down. Detective Pikachu, it's in the world of Pokemon. This is what's going down. It's not based off a story we already know. It's based off a world that we know. And I think that's the best approach. And that's something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do a Samus film. I feel like a dope female lead that's not Tomb Raider. The next one is Samus. You know, Samus is just, she's ridiculous. She's, you know, an icon in gaming. I got ideas for a Grand Theft Auto film, you know, a way to approach that. I got ideas, man. I'm working on setting some things up with PlayStation to see if they, if they want to mess with your boy. But yeah, video game movies, that's what I kind of got into college for. I went to USC for screenwriting. Shout out to USC, you know, go Trojans. But I went to USC for screenwriting because I wanted to write scripts
for video games. In my mind, I can make you pay $16 for a movie ticket, or I can make you pay $60 for this game. So like that's what I really wanted to get into. And now that I'm in film, I might as well do video game films.
Do you think, so you mentioned, I like how you mentioned Grand Theft Auto, because I know there's a Call of Duty movie that's been in development for a while now. And we always kind of talk about it, like, if the Call of Duty movie is just like a war movie and it's called Call of Duty, is that cheating? Like, is that not a video game? Like do you, like, how would you approach that? Like, is it a little cheap to just like make a war movie and slap Call of Duty? Does it really have to embody the game to count?
That's the thing, God, they're going to kill me. Call of Duty is just a war game, bro. It's not like, and that's the thing. It's campaigns and all that. You're going to, the betrayals, all of that stuff. So it's like, how could you make it Call of Duty? Like what, when it was Infinite Warfare and they had the exosuits and all that stuff, like, yeah, maybe. But, unless you throw some zombies in there, I don't know nothing. How could you, differentiate whether or not it's just, you watching Fury or Saving Private Ryan as opposed to it just being a Call of Duty movie. So it's, that's a tough task. But, I really can't put my GTA ideas out there until I get a meeting. Shout out to Rockstar. Hit your boy up. Let's have a talk. But, yeah, dude, that's going to be tough. A Call of Duty movie. I don't know how they're going to do this Minecraft movie. I don't even know if I want to watch that.
Well, I joke. It's like, why don't you just trick someone to make a great war movie and then like Christopher Nolan, like last second be like, nah, we're calling this Call of Duty. Sorry, we're just changing. And there you go. then you have it all.
Easy. Just slap it on there. Slap the logo on there.
I'm actually, by the way, I'm going, speaking of USC, I'm going out to LA early. I'm going to this NASCAR event at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be at this. NASCAR? I can't believe they're racing at the Coliseum. It's just
yeah. I might check that out. Never been to a NASCAR event. My little brother knows about that, but
I think your dad is performing at it. Actually, if I have that right, somebody is.
But I'm there.
I actually think so. Now that I may be incepting that in my own head. I actually think that is, yeah. Never been to the Coliseum. I'm going to see someone race cars in the middle of it. So that's pretty unique. Well, I mentioned anime as well. Excuse me. And anime has that same exact thing. And this is a hot topic, and I'm very curious where you land on this. I only recently got into anime. And I love it and just can't get enough of it. And it's one of the things you're like, why was I not watching it? Like, I mean, I watched Pokemon as a kid, but I didn't didn't make that connection. But live action adaptation of anime is a whole different story and almost never works. And not only almost never works, like fails spectacularly. Is that one for you? Because like we've talked about that. That's got to be one that maybe it just shouldn't be touched that way, right?
Yeah, there's there's just certain things that are way more accepted in anime than they are in a live action film. And you're really gonna have to in a live action adaptation, you really gotta go there. Like you're gonna really have to go there. You can't be, if you try to be too much of a copy of the show, you're gonna run into kind of a situation like the original Super Mario Brothers movie. Okay. Oh. It was so many things of like, is this about the game or are you not about the game? It's like the blend just didn't happen the way that it was supposed to, because like Mario's cartoony. Like it's supposed to be animated. It can't, there's no way that they were going to have some guy running around jumping on turtle heads in a live action and we were just going to be okay with it. Like, there was no cohesiveness with it. And anime runs into that a lot. I know right now everybody's thinking about the Cowboy Bebop thing and how that didn't work. I was super hopeful for that. Me and my homie Kamel, we were really, really pumped about that. That's a tough nut to crack, but they got to get video game movies right before they start thinking about messing with anime. We got to get that down pat.
Well, that's right, because the anime already exists. That's there. It's good. Like, don't worry about that. Yeah,
they can put out movies themselves, as the anime. I went to go see Super Broly, the Dragon Ball Super movie, and like that packed out the house. So they can do their own thing.
I want to talk. You mentioned Straight Outta Compton earlier. All-time Oscar snub, like just one of the more insane ones. But you actually had a really cool tweet, I think yesterday. you tweeted out your MTV Movie Award that you had, the popcorn award. That which this always grinds me, and I can't relate. I'm an Oscar guy. I love the Oscars. I don't act. I'm never going to win an Oscar, but I don't believe 95% of people that we talk to say they don't care at all about awards, because for you, it matters a little. Like, it still matters a little bit, right? Like, that always had bothered you, right?
Yeah, it's as a kid, you watch the MTV Movie Awards, like, you're there every year. I'm old now. I'll be looking at the music video awards and not knowing half the people, just feeling so 30. But like with the popcorn, I wanted my dad to bring that home as a kid, like bad. And I just felt like they always gave it to Adam Sandler. Whenever my dad was nominated, it's always going to Adam Sandler. And so for my first film, I'm able to bring home the popcorn, and it was the 25th anniversary. So it's like black and gold and all that. It really meant something to me. And it kind of built something that I wanted to do with my career. As far as, my father and his legacy, in my eyes, it's untouchable. It's not I don't look at it as a mountain to climb or anything like that. I more look at what I'm doing as adding to the Jackson legacy. And so what I want for myself is to win those awards that they wouldn't give my guy, to make sure my mom's trophy case is full of everything. And so I wanted to make sure that I showed range as an actor. After Straight Outta Compton, I told my team, we have to do something completely different than Straight Outta Compton. Do not let them typecast us. Do not let them put us in a box. And so after that, we did Ingrid Goes West, which is an indie, dark comedy. Yeah. After that, we did Den of Thieves, which was action. After that, we did Godzilla, which is, sci-fi action still. Then after that, we did the comedy with Long Shot with Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron. And then we went back with Just Mercy. So I've always kind of not let them put me in a box. And whatever my last project is, my next one has to be the polar opposite. And that mentality is why Deborah Chow picked me for Kenobi. She said, "You've shown so much versatility. I knew that you would be great for this role." And so it's working out in my favor. The popcorn was the first of many that I want to bring home so that we have a piece of our name and everything.
You're that's fucking awesome to hear. And you're also like, I think you're like just about a month older than me, so we're the same age. 90s kids. The Nickelodeon blimp. The Nickelodeon blimp. Yeah, right. That's the other one. I guess, yeah. We only got 2 minutes, so this is a tough question. It's the last thing we ask everybody, but I feel like you're gonna do it pretty quick. 6 movie suggestions. Could be your 6 favorite movies, underrated movies, something you've seen recently. Just throw them against the wall. 6 movies.
My favorite movie of all time is The Big Lebowski. If you haven't seen The Big Lebowski, you're cheating yourself. And don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. Next one is I really like Argo. Shout out to Affleck.
Oh yeah.
Argo's a solid movie, man. It's one of my favorites. Keeps you on the edge of your seat. You got to check that out. Okay, let's switch it up. I just rewatched The Fantastic Mr. Fox. I really like that film, the animated film. Shout out to George Clooney, Three Kings. Let's see, what's another one? It's another one. Yesterday, me and my daughter were watching Encanto. Shout out Encanto. We sing every song. It's a good film. Let's see, two more. Kind of put me on the spot. Let me think. I also like the Grand Budapest Hotel, just to stay with the Wes Anderson. And one more. Check out The Now on Roku.
There you go. What a fucking great rant. The Now on Roku, all 14 episodes. Stream them now. Rip right through it. This is awesome. I don't know, maybe run into you at the Coliseum, a fucking NASCAR event. But if not, I'm going to bet we got to have you back for Kenobi.
Easy.
Or anytime. My co-host, again, he's me so bummed he couldn't talk anime with you. So we'll save it.
All right, for sure.
Good luck, man. Wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.